Hello. We are live. I think I did it. All right. Well, welcome to another episode of the Penguins Collective podcast. I am Josh. I'm riding solo tonight. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. Just 1 second, actually. It looks like I think we are live, but it does not say if we are. Just one moment. I am going to be right back. I apologize. Hang with me, everybody. I will get this figured out. Alrighty, let's again. All right. Again, welcome to the Penguins Collective podcast. I am your host, Josh, for tonight. I do apologize. If you've been on this episode on the podcast before with me riding solo, there's always some technical difficulties. So, hey, we're here. We're gonna figure it out. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. The Penguins played tonight on Wednesday, February 14th against the Florida Panthers at home, and it left a lot to be desired. Penguins lost 5-2 in what looked like a very poor effort from Penguins tonight. We're gonna try and keep this positive. I'm going to do my best, but it was very hard to watch. So before I get into it, I just want to say thank you for joining me. Sorry. We are live streaming on Twitter and on Twitch and YouTube, all at our handle of the Penguins Collective. Also, we thank you for listening. After Louis will upload this after the episode, it'll most likely be tomorrow morning, so Thursday. Thank you for all the morning listeners. And Thursday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you are currently listening to us. Thank you. We appreciate you. And to everyone out there, if you wouldn't mind, if you're not already, please like, subscribe, do everything that the platform offers. It goes a long way, and we greatly appreciate it. Last thing before we get into it, I know in the Discord, Ethan, shout out Ethan, he dropped that he went on shopyins.com and bought one of our t-shirts. So I do appreciate you, Ethan. If you didn't, should have used coupon code TPC15, 15% off your first order. Appreciate that greatly, Ethan. Thank you for supporting us always, not only just listening, but actually getting a t-shirt. That is awesome. Thank you, man. All right, so let's get into tonight's game, shall we? It was a doozy. Now, Penguins have been off for a little bit, and a little bit, I mean about 3 days that they had off since the last game against the Winnipeg Jets. And it's rough. I think tonight may have been the nail in the coffin. Just because with points in games, the way things are looking, I don't know if this team has it in them to get out of this hole. Now, last week, about this time, I thought we did. I thought we had a shot. That if we played the way that we did against Winnipeg the first game last week, I thought we had a shot to dig ourselves out and make a little run. Now, again, these are professional athletes. They can change my mind in a hurry, but I think I'm of the mindset now that they will not make the playoffs, and that this is the team. This is what you see. So it's hard. It's hard because I love to be optimistic. I try to be positive, and if you listen to the podcast, I know no one likes the answers that I give, but I try to ride the fence because, you know, I Louis likes to say I like to be he likes to be proven wrong. You know, he'll give a negative take and hopes that he's proven wrong. I love that about him, but at the same time, I don't like doing that. I would rather just my mindset is always stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. And that's how I've been for this team for about 2 months now, that they'll figure it out. It's not looking good, but they'll figure it out. So always that two-headed monster, but at the same time, right now, I'm not feeling it. I think I am fully on the this team is missing the playoff outlook. And it sucks, honestly. You know, we went 16 years of making the playoffs. That's wild. And then last year we missed it for the first time. Thought it was just, hey, we didn't win that last game. So, that's that was tough. But okay, we'll get them next year. Then the offseason came around. We got Carlson. We retooled what we thought was a better bottom six, and now we're in the same boat again. So I think this is it. And now what do we have to look forward to is the $1 million question, and that's the trade deadline. And, I don't know what's going to happen when we get there, but I don't want to jump ahead. I'll get to that in a little bit. I just want to touch a little bit on the game as well. But there was just no energy tonight, unfortunately. And also, from the fans too. I mean, granted, it was a slow first period. Second period, we got a goal, but then it was taken away. It was a weird bounce right in front of the net, went up. Bobrovsky tried to play it with his glove, but so did, I'm blanking on who touched it. But one of the Penguins, Lars Eller. Lars Eller also touched it with a stick. So, if it's up above the head, I think the crossbar is the gauge. It's a high stick. So Florida challenged it. It got overturned. And that was on the power play too. So it was like, hey, got a power play goal. We got the first goal of the game. Let's get after it here. Let's keep it going. But Florida challenged, and it was pretty obvious. I was super bummed. And I think everyone else was too. It took the energy right out of the game from the Penguins, and Florida just pounced. They scored 2 goals in 34 seconds. I think they scored all 4 goals in under 10 minutes. I think it was like 8 something. It was unreal. It was genuinely an onslaught by Florida, and it looked bad. All throughout that second period, just we weren't playing well. Everything looked sloppy. The one thing that I noticed was that the broadcast was even saying it doesn't even sound like they're communicating down there. That's not good, because that should be the most basic thing that you're doing on the ice, is that you're communicating. You guys, they are flying all over the ice at 20 miles per hour. You need to be talking out there. You need to be communicating to each other, figure out what is going on around you. And if the broadcast is picking up that no one is communicating, it's not good. Not looking good. I don't know what that means for, certain players going forward. They were name dropping about, in the pregame, it was TNT. So, and with a 7:30 start, I was able to watch a little bit of the pregame, being that it started at 7. And they were saying, like, guys like Malkin, what's it going to take for them to get going? And they, obviously talked about all of his accomplishments and all of his accolades. And Louis will literally say, I don't care about his accomplishments and his accolades. They were with Sydney, so how much do they really matter? And Malkin has been playing pretty poorly last, I don't know, all the season and a half. So someone put it out there that this was the most disappointing effort that they watched the Penguins put out there all season. I think I agree with that statement. I mean, there have been some really bad games, but I think this game was the worst, especially right after we gave up. Once that goal was overturned, it just looked like they all gave up. And I hate saying that because, like, realistically, I know that these guys are doing everything they can when they step on the ice, but it just looked bad. And then to make matters worse, usually when there's like this type of game where you get 4 goals in one period or 4 goals in like 8 something, you're pulling that goalie. He's gone. But unique situation tonight. We're playing in a back-to-back. So tomorrow we're playing at Chicago. You can't now depend on your backup goaltender to finish this game and then to start the next game. So Sullivan had to just say, Jars, not doing well tonight. Obviously, it wasn't all your fault, but what typically would be a pull in this situation, we got to just ride you. And that's just a sucky situation all the way around. And, one major thing that I'm totally overlooking here, which I apologize, I failed to start with this. We were only playing with 11 forwards. Yeah, we did not put out a full 12 forwards tonight. We were playing 11 forwards, 7 defensemen. And Noel Chari, Harkins, they were put on injured reserve. So, I mean, I don't know what that even means for tomorrow. Are we going to ride the same lineup? 11 forwards, 7 defensemen, and then, I don't even know. Can you call anyone up the night before? This is one thing that sucks about going solo. Like, you got to talk to yourself for a minute, try to talk it through. I mean, I guess they could, in theory, call someone up because the Wilkes-Barre Strand Penguins actually had an early bird type game tonight. Today. They were playing at like 1 o'clock. I was getting the notifications on my phone. I thought it was a screw up, but they must have had an early game tonight. So, in theory, they could have already technically put in the request to call up one of the players, and they may be already on their way to Chicago. I don't know. Or they're just going to roll with 11 forwards again. We'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out. But, I mean, I don't know what else we were expecting. I think we needed this win to start making the momentum, start making the push that we thought they were going to make. But the thing is, Florida Panthers, they were in the Stanley Cup final last year. They're a top team in the Eastern Conference. I was optimistic going in, but the way they played showed me that there is not much fight left in this dog anymore. And I don't know. My prediction is we're no longer going to make the playoffs. I am fully on the bus of we're not making the playoffs this year, which should make for a very interesting last couple of weeks before the trade deadline, and then last couple months of the season. Not even mentioning the offseason. So I have nothing else to say about the game. The Penguins lose 5-2. I do have a few other things I want to go over. I will be going into the comments in a second, but there were a couple positive things, optimistic guy here. Will always be optimistic. But a couple of positive things tonight. Colin White, who got the start because a whole bunch of guys are on injured reserve. A whole bunch of forwards, are on injured reserve. Then Colin White got the start, and that is his 300th career NHL start. So kudos to Colin White. Glad to have him being able to fill a spot when needed. He's not terrible. Would I say that he's a reliable starter? No, but I mean, 300 games in the NHL, it's nothing to sneeze at. So congrats to him. And one of our goals tonight was by John Ludwig. And that was his first of his career. I didn't realize how young this guy was. I knew that, he was claimed on waivers by by the Penguins, and that he wasn't he didn't have an NHL start coming into this season, but I didn't realize that he hasn't had a goal. So got his first goal tonight, which is awesome. And I mean, great to see him back. He was out for a while, and he's starting to get his skates underneath him and got a goal. Hopefully he can, I mean, produce a little bit, but I love the way that he lays the body. He's our physical guy. So it was nice to see get his goal against the team that drafted him. So unfortunately, that was the only two positive things of the night. But someone is in the comments being to stir the pot. So let's see here. The man who can't be here tonight, Lewis. Oh wait, here he goes. Are we firing Sullivan? The man that he loves, the man that he would take a bullet for, is trying to stir the pot in the comments by saying, should we fire Sullivan? Lewis, I'm not there yet. But I see that you're kidding as well. So we're not going to touch that one. I think we got to keep Sullivan. Apparently he's in the running for the head coach of the USA Olympic team. I mean, that would be awkward if we fire him and then they put Jake Gensel on the Olympic team. Oh, but then what if they trade Jake Gensel? Whatever. Okay, that's another topic for another day. Louis is also in the comments stirring the pot. Do we trade Jake if we don't make the playoffs? Well, it's hard to gauge because where will we be at come March? Because realistically, we're already super close to being not in the playoffs, and it's February. So, I mean, Louis, I know I texted this to you, but Jake Gensel's got a no trade clause on his contract. Could he just say, hey, I'm not moving somewhere temporarily for the rest of the year? Like, I'm just not. So you're going to have to ride it out with me for the rest of the season. And then we lose him. Now, like, I know, like, I'm on the train of if he's not re-signing, you trade him and try to get as much as you can for him. But I mean, he's got to agree to these trades. So I don't know. Angry Boot makes a great point. I know Jake Gensel is your boy, Angry Boot. Jake is the only thing working. Why would we trade him? Absolutely. I hear what you're saying. He's the only thing working right now. But at the same time, the thing is, like, there's no energy from the rest of the team. And if there's no outlook on the future, like, why keep him? Especially if he's going to walk away, let the Penguins get some assets in return to help build the future. Get some draft picks, get some youth, get some prospects, something that will help in the future. You know, it's not an idea that I love, that I'm like pounding the table for. It's just the fact that it's just the business side of it that really sucks for a fan. Like, for a fan, I want Jake Gensel to retire a Penguin. But, like, the fact of the matter is, if Jake isn't wanting to retire a Penguin, so now we have to think about what's best for the Penguins. We have to get assets in return so that we can think about the future of the Penguins. And, you know, same thing goes for Riley Smith. I've heard Raquel's name thrown out there. I've heard Russ's name thrown out there. You know, the bigger shows, Spittin' Chicklets, Pat McAfee, they've thrown out the possibility of Sid wanting out. Now, I'm not going to fully touch that one. I was going to say, I think the Penguins will do whatever Sid asks. And if Sid goes to the front office and says, I can't do this, guys. Like, I can't. Now, whether that be at the trade deadline or in the off season, and he says that he's out, I do believe that I think the Penguins will do whatever he asks. But I also believe that Sidney Crosby is a man of loyalty and honor. I think he'd probably want to stay or just retire, one or the other. I mean, I think he's an old school mentality guy where he would like to stay on one team for his whole career. So I'm going to stick to that, and hopefully that's what he does. And who knows what's going to happen in the future, but Kyle Dubas is going to have to work some magic. Some magic. Angry Boots says, LOL, no way. Yeah, no, man, I feel you. I feel it. So I don't know. It's going. We're back tomorrow. Louis will be back tomorrow. I know we have an episode. We're going to pick a game where we're going to talk about the trade deadline in more detail. I've been looking into some names that are out there that are being floated out there as some possible, trade options. There's websites like Bleacher Report and stuff like that cooking up trade packages for Jake Gensel. So it's not looking good for the Penguins. This isn't the Penguins of 8 years ago. So I don't know what to expect. Fenway Sports Group has changed a lot of what we knew of the Penguins, and some of it for the better, some of it not. But we'll have to see what Dubas and this front office underneath Fenway has up their sleeves in terms of what to do at the trade deadline and this upcoming offseason, because this team has nothing in them. And that's harsh, but there's nothing there. I think they're very close to checking out, because I think they understand that the schedule is getting rough. We have a back-to-back, and then I think starting next week, it's almost every other night we have a game. So you're going to be seeing a lot of us. So get used to that. But I don't think they're going to want to be doing this. So another disappointing loss by the Penguins puts us back even further into playoff race, because we were 7th, and we could have, I think we could have hopped 6th tonight, or if we won both today and tomorrow, could have hopped or something like that. But that's out the window now. So we're falling further and further behind, and we are getting closer and closer to the end of the season, which is crazy to think about, because it also feels like we just started doing this, a couple weeks ago in October. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry I don't have more. Sorry I don't have any optimism for tonight's episode. I don't have much. The only optimism we had is celebrating Colin White, and John Ludwig, which, congratulations to those guys. At this point, we got to just continue to, just celebrate the individual accomplishments that this team achieves at this point, because there's no hope left for the team and what they're going to do going forward the rest of this season. So I am disappointed. I am sad, because, as a Penguins fan, we had amazing years, and it really sucks. Like, I'm just going to get really honest here. It just sucks, they were so dominant, and we're literally seeing the greats that we grew up with just run into father time. And I don't know which person said it, but one of the athletes, however many years ago, I want to say it was Kobe, or if it was Jordan or someone like that, upper echelon athletic type person, said Father Time is undefeated. And I know Sid is playing amazing this year. I get it. He's playing really well. But I mean, the rest of the cast, we were hyping up Carter, but I mean, he's 36, 37 years old. Malkin, everyone else, Rust is over 30. Smith is over 30, Letang, Carlson, Ruedel. I mean, again, Father Time is undefeated, and it's not showing any mercy to this Penguins team. It is showing no mercy. And we're going to have to see some harsh changes in order to have the type of run that we had for the last 16 of the last 17 years. So, yeah, I guess we're going to leave it on that negative note. Leave that tucked in your noggin as you go to bed tonight. Try to reminisce about the 16-17 back-to-back run 8 years ago, which is super depressing just thinking about, because that just feels like that was just last year. But you know what? Ended on a positive note. That's what you get with the episode just hosted by Josh. Couple days, Jaromir Jagr's getting his jersey retired, which is awesome. That is a dude and a half. So I think that's Sunday. I think that's Sunday's game that he gets his number retired, put up there next to Lemieux, be there where he belongs forever. So that's sick. All right. Well, I think that will do it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you joining me after this disappointing loss. Hope everyone had a very nice Valentine's Day. If you had a Valentine, I hope you treated them well today. If not today, you did something for them on a previous date. That's what we did. Child babysitters and childcare, they know that today is Valentine's Day, so they jack up the rates, and we say, hey, we'll go around that. We'll need you on the Saturday before. So, wow, Ethan, that's pretty cool. But I mean, it's sad. 2017 was special. The Stanley Cup run. My grandfather passed away right after they won. Man, talk about a high and a low right there. Coming from the high of fandom of your team winning the Stanley Cup, and then immediately your grandfather passing away. I'm really sorry about that. Louis and I, we just lost our grandfather last month. Now, it's not easy. It's not easy, but that's really cool. Hopefully, it was a Penguins fan. You got to experience that with him. That would have been even sweeter. So that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Ethan. But all right, guys, I appreciate you again. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, like, comment. There have been some comments on previous videos. We've been trying to get back to those. Unfortunately, we haven't been getting all the notifications, so they do get unnoticed sometimes. So we do apologize. We'll get to those. But we'll be back tomorrow against the Chicago Blackhawks. Blackhawks will be home, and I believe Connor Bedard is playing. I could be wrong. Scratch that. I don't know anything about Chicago. So we'll be back tomorrow. I believe Louis will rejoin me, and we'll get after it again together. And hopefully there'll be a win. We'll see. But that'll do it. Thank you guys always for everything that you guys do, for hopping on. Discord. Don't forget our Discord. Hop on there. Live chats throughout the game, throughout the week on off days. We talk about life. We talk about everything. I mentioned it. Ethan shared that he bought a shirt. So make sure you hop on that. The Penguins Collective. Download the Discord app. Go on the website. Search the Penguins Collective. Select join and hop on in. Welcome to have you, and join the chat in there. So that'll do it for tonight. And again, Penguins fall to the Florida Panthers 5-2 on Wednesday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And as always, let's go Pens.